Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Escaping Normality. So, what you guys just didn't hear, it was about 2 minutes of me talking to myself because I hit record, and forgot to I forgot to get Ao's recording in there in OBS. So, anyways, how you doing, bro? How's it going?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
All right, I'm
What's up?
glad. So, you just made a video about Off-White. I mean, sorry. You just made a video about Diet Prada calling out Off-White and Virgil for taking Givenchy's design. And what I was starting to think is that do people really care about stealing designs? You know, we often talk about how Virgil has stolen designs before, which is true, he has. But does it really matter in the long run? He's still successful. He still works for Louis Vuitton now. You know, do we let on that we care more than we actually do?
I think what it is I think people like us were too into fashion,
Hmm.
and I think we don't realize that the majority of people that buy off-white don't really care about like fashion that much.
Right.
They just know that rappers wear off-white, so to them, like if they wear off-white, it's drip. So they wouldn't even if something was copied, they wouldn't even know because they're not that tuned into the industry.
Right, right. That's a big part of that's a big point of mine whenever I talk about certain brands and stuff. Uh, like how you we had kind of we didn't necessarily butt heads in a direct sort of term, but you had displayed displeasure, I should say, with the Balenciaga Zen because
Yeah,
it was like a Lonsdale sneaker, you know, some shitty sneaker that you guys have over there. And
yeah,
my point to that was that does everything have to be super revolutionary? Because the majority of people are just going to buy it regardless.
yeah.
Because, like you said, we're the people who really care that much. And
Yeah, to
sometimes,
be to be fair, those Balenciaga sneakers,
hmm,
I think my main issue with it wasn't even like the design per se, because
right,
a lot of people have that astroturf. Like Demna Vesalia said, the shoe is inspired by him growing in Georgia and having playing football in his childhood.
right.
So it makes sense. It's more Balenciaga 400, like the cost of it, and then the materials that just like it just didn't make sense. It didn't add up like materials wise in terms of what they're charging. I
Right,
think that was my main issue with that one.
right, but I don't have to tell you what it costs to have something like that released more outside of just the cost of labor and the cost of materials.
Oh yeah, for sure. But then again, there are brands who have good materials and then charge a similar
Right,
price.
that's true. So for anyone that doesn't know, because I know sometimes I go off the cuff with this fashion stuff, and some people that watch the channel don't know that much about fashion. So if you don't know, for people who think like certain designers are charging a lot because of the brand name, you have to remember they have to pay for models, they have to pay for shows, they have to pay for
Marketing.
marketing, right? They have to pay for the actual rent of the stores that they have, and that sometimes will boost the prices of certain items. But that's getting a little bit off topic.
Yeah.
So why now does Diet Prada is now releasing this statement? Oh, this is the stealing of the Off White. What do they have to gain from that?
But
What's the
do
hell's
you
the
know
point?
something? They do this every season.
Mm,
Like to Off-White. They just don't like Off-White and they're going
right.
to find any reason to try and discredit Off-White. And sometimes it makes sense. Like sometimes, yeah, Virgil does directly copy, but he didn't in this case. But if you look at the dress, the silhouette is so different.
Right.
Like to try and say that he copied the other dress, it doesn't even make sense. Like his dress is like the bottom is like a straight line. The
Hmm.
Givenchy dress like has levels to it. Like it goes up, down, up, that. Like the silhouette is just like it just
It
actually doesn't
is.
make
No, it
sense.
is.
Just looking at it.
Even the little shoulder part is different from the other one as well. I mean, it's just not the
Yeah,
same
but
thing.
to them, and then what they do is like you know how they Photoshop the Arc'teryx jacket
Mm,
onto
hmm.
the Givenchy look to make it look even more convincing. Like,
Right.
yeah, it's like yeah, exactly that. It's just like that's just such a
I,
I feel like Diet Prada they used to make sense before, but now they're just like overdoing it. It's like they just need content, so they're just gonna like chat shit.
which is bad because the thing about Diet Prada is that it's the only big outlet that really calls out fashion injustices, except for me, and I'm you know, it's it goes Diet Prada and then it's me, so you can there's not much of a mid range for that shit. So like it's just you would think from a page like this, where you would trust them to be like,
Like,
you know,
bro, 1.7 million followers. Like, bro.
and they're supposed to be the good guys. That's what I'm saying. And this is crazy. Virgil Abloh ripping other designs, groundbreaking. And this is what kills me about people who were saying bad things about his show, is that no matter what you do, people are going to what's the terminology I'm looking for? No matter what you do, you can't ever get out of the original portrayal of you. You know what I mean? If he has these designs or whatever if he has these designs, then they're stealing from him. He's stealing from other people. No matter how long in the future it'll be, he's still stealing from someone. I guarantee it. And recently, I've been sounding like a Virgil fanboy because he's done nothing but like make me defend him lately. We talked
I
about.
feel like, do you know what it is? So there's this thing where, you know, like how a lot of people in fashion, they do things where it's like, okay, you know, the Homme Plissé Issey Miyake stuff,
Hmm.
right? So, you know, I own some of that, but like most people, I'm very aware that most people that own it, they just wear it because they know other people in fashion like
Right,
rate it,
right.
not because they personally like it. So this is one of those things. It's like this whole group think where
Hmm.
it's like, if a lot of people are saying Virgil Abloh is bad, then I'm just gonna say he's bad. I don't know why, but I'm just gonna discredit everything he does, and then it gets to the point where it stops making sense. And I feel like that's why now you're seeing a lot more people defending him because it's like at first it was making sense, but now
Right.
people are just overdoing it.
It's like it's just beating a dead horse. It's like, okay, that was funny, man. All right, that was kind of funny. All right, like you got it. Like it's over. Like the bit's over. He's moved on from that. It's, you don't have to keep doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's why in my video I brought up a point. I said people act like people can't improve. That's
right.
like one thing people in fashion do. Like you can't judge what he's doing now based on what when he was printing Pyrex t-shirts and stuff. Like it just doesn't make sense.
And people assume that opinions aren't supposed to change when you can change your opinion.
Exactly.
I've said on this exact channel, Off White was the shittest brand ever. It was so bad. There was about 3 pieces. There was legitimately about 3 pieces out of the however many that they had that I liked, and I'm starting to change my opinion. Opinion's gonna
Same,
change.
bro. I used to rip into Virgil so hard, but now like I actually like the recent collections. Like I said, the menswear one was solid as well.
We talked about the Louis Vuitton techwear thing. Remember?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That was in December, I think, or something. I forgot. Yeah, it
Yeah,
must have.
he's making good stuff now. He's making like people just can't get away from this whole group think that oh Virgil's supposed to be bad, so everyone just follows suit.
I wanted
But
to.
they don't actually if you ask them like, okay, sit down with me and actually
Right.
explain what in this collection is bad, they'll start stuttering.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, I swear, I talked to somebody the other day, and I talked to her, and I was like, "Hey, did you see Virgil's?" She's actually a fan of yours. I said, "Hey, did you see Virgil's new collection?" And he's like, "Yeah, I didn't really like it. You know, the hoodie type thing with the dress. I wasn't fucking with it." And I was like, "Is that it? Like, what else?" And there was nothing else. That was it. It just
And it's like, yo, that's one look. So you don't like the whole collection based off of one look.
right, right.
Like, come on. Like that doesn't make sense.
Like, you gotta have some more creativity if you're gonna hate on somebody, at least. But yeah, like I said, Diet Product. Come on, man. Cause they had a bunch of stuff up there. Remember when High Fashion Talk had broken the what's his face Gosher Robzinski thing. Diet
Oh
Product
yeah,
posted
yeah,
that
yeah.
was huge. That was huge, 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 huge. And
I feel like that ended his career almost.
I I, I don't think so. That's
It's like
entirely.
ever since then he hasn't really recovered, has he?
Well, no, I'm not saying it didn't do some damage, but I've seen people wear it still.
Have you? Oh
Yeah.
wow. I don't see anyone wearing Gosha. I don't know why, but yeah.
The funny thing is, I've seen people wear Dasha, and I've seen people wear the fake Chanel bags I was on about before. Yeah, I swear to God, I've seen people with it, and I see Excuse me. I seen a couple of my friends with it too, and I was like, oh my god, what are you
Oh
people doing?
damn.
Do you not listen? Do you not learn? We've already talked about this. It's not. It's not a thing. It did. You just can't, like, no matter what, you just can't win. You talk about it, people listen for a second, and then it just goes off the cuff. It doesn't matter. Did you?
Yeah, I feel like yeah, most people really don't care.
Yeah.
People like me, obviously, I care to a degree because like
You
if
work.
I was a designer and I spent a whole year working on designs and some like waste man copied it, I'll be pissed off. But like I get why most people wouldn't care because they're not even aware of it really.
Right, right.
But I personally, I still care though. I definitely care because I just think if I was in the designer's shoes, but I think people just need to learn the difference between
Mm,
referencing and copying, and also the difference between cross-referencing and just direct
right,
plagiarism.
right. Would you care if you're a designer? Let's say you have a new collection out, and one of the looks you have was seemingly copied by someone else. How would that make you feel?
Yeah, but stuff can look similar. I don't think I'd be too offended about that.
If you no, if you believed in your heart of hearts that this motherfucker copied you, how would
Okay,
you
if
feel?
I believe they copied me, then I'll definitely talk about it. I'll let it be known, definitely.
What is there to do though? You know what I mean? What is there to really do about it? I would.
Just let people know that they copied me. So next time when they release something, that like people are gonna discredit what they do.
So it sucks. The next time they copy you, people can buy it, and some of the people cannot buy it. Like a couple people that
Yeah,
listen to you cannot buy it.
yeah, basically.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? Like that's basically it. That's what else
Yeah,
can you do?
to be
Like,
fair, there isn't too much you can do.
right.
The only thing you could do is a lawsuit, but in fashion that doesn't really work because you can't like own the copyright to a design. Like it's just a bit
The,
strange.
that
Like to an aesthetic.
yeah, that gets really weird. I had a video up. I forgot what the video was called. It was something about. Oh, it was the Balenciaga Zen shoe actually, and I was talking about how the actual copy of the design from the Lonsdale. There's some weird law that I've heard about before, and I tried looking it up, but it's such a difficult thing to actually look up directly. I tried to look up what did I try to look up? I try to look up. Somebody told me, or I've heard somewhere, that a shoe can be like 90% of the original design of another shoe, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And if you take someone to court, that's why like Skechers has
Yeah,
like
it's crazy, bro.
it's really insane. That's why Skechers has like a ton of shoes that look like Nike silhouettes or Adidas or whatever silhouettes, and they just get away with it.
Yeah, I'm even surprised like Nike could cease and desist Rick Owens on those dunks. It must have been really
D-
close
d-
for
d-
them to.
which what really?
Yeah. So before the Geo Basket, I think they're called.
Yeah.
Before that, he used to have like Rick Owens dunks, but then Nike sent him like a cease and desist. So then he had to change it to the Geo Basket. Yeah,
These?
that's yeah,
Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought you were talking about. But really,
yeah.
how the
They
fuck?
sent they sent him a cease and desist. So he had to change it.
How the fuck did he get
It
that?
doesn't even look
It
that close.
it,
Like
it
you can
really
see
doesn't.
it, but it really doesn't. Like the shape, the silhouette, like it's just the materials. Everything's different.
If you don't know what a Nike Dunk looks like, I mean that is
Cause bro, I'm like thinking like if they can send him a cease and desist, what about brands like Hender Scheme?
right. That is weird because Hender Scheme is literally the same thing. It's just
Yeah,
with
like
different materials.
literally,
If you don't know what
just
Hender
better
Scheme is,
materials.
if you don't know what Hender Scheme is, I think it's a what is it? Where's the brand from?
I don't
I
know.
think
I just know they
China.
make
No,
extremely high quality shoes, but they're kind of based off of existing
I
silhouettes.
don't know what. How do you type that? I mean, how is it spelt? I mean,
Hender, so Hender.
okay, I found it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hender Scheme is literally the same exact shoes with premium
Yeah.
materials. It's not even like it's not even like it's up for debate. Like this,
They don't even try to change this. Like,
you can't get. I mean, it's the same fucking shoe. Look at this and look at
I'm like,
this.
how don't they get a cease and desist, but like Rick Owens gets one? It's a bit strange. They must
maybe
have like maybe they pay a percentage to the original. But there must be an agreement. There's no way
right, but wouldn't you think they would say that then?
because they
Or
sell it for so much money as well.
oh yeah, it goes for. I mean, these things are thousands of dollars retail, or something like that,
Yeah,
or something like it's ridiculous. Yeah, yeah. I see 1.1
yeah.
for retail. That's ridiculous. And I mean, it's the same shoe. It's not like it's the same shoe. It just and I heard they were mad uncomfortable too. Like if you don't know, the Jordan 4 has the air bubble and whatnot. This doesn't have shit.
Yeah,
You
you
just
can't put an air bubble in leather, bro. That
you just
that
fucked.
wouldn't work so well.
No, no, you just fucked. These are straight. I mean, this is uncomfortable as hell. Maybe
That leather, I feel sorry for people that like, God damn, that's gonna take a long time to break into.
maybe it's because their markets aren't the same, so Nike just lets it slide, or Jordan brand lets it.
Maybe, but then Rick's like market is not Nike's market,
It's closer, maybe.
is it? Nike's market is not really luxury to me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Everyone wears Nike, like everyone,
Well,
from the poorest of the poor to the richest of the rich. Like
right, but how much did these go for retail? Because the Hender schemes go for 1,000. I think these went for
these are like the 600, 700
right.
range.
That's still pretty up there. I don't know. That's tough. That's a
Because
tough one.
Nike don't sell any pair of footwear for that much.
No,
None.
no, 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 no. Well, the Dior Jordan ones, they were they under Dior or were they under Nike or
No,
Jordan?
that premium
Shit.
that doesn't count because that's Dior. That's the Dior side of it.
Is
And
it?
even like the only place they're selling the shoes is to Dior VIP members anyway.
But did Dior manufacture it?
Probably not.
Well, then that's the point because you have to like. I used to be an avid buyer of Supreme. I would buy every fucking Supreme accessory and all this other kind of shit. And
Yeah.
sometimes when they collab, they have the collaborators manufacture it, which is why sometimes if you order, I don't know how many people listen to this order Supreme, but if you order Supreme accessory that's a collab, you'll get it at a different date than you do the other stuff because it's coming from someone else. So that's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the Dior's because they're under the. That's why I say if they're not manufacturing it, then I don't know. That's tough. That's a tough one. That's a real tough one.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah, that's a tough one. I think that I don't know. I don't know. I don't work in Jordan brand, unfortunately. I don't think you do either.
No, I definitely don't. I've
Unfortunately,
worked
no.
in a lot of industry, but not footwear. I'd love to though.
What's is there anything specifically that's stopping you from working in footwear, or is it just the
Just
opportunity that you have now?
I don't have the skill. Like the design I know how to do is more like outerwear.
Mm,
Like my first internship, I learned how to like design outerwear and stuff.
right.
Then videography, photography. Like I just can't see how I would work. Like my skills don't really translate into footwear design.
That's why you have someone to work with you. You know.
Yeah, unless someone would be willing to actually like teach me how to design footwear and stuff like that.
I'm,
Otherwise,
I'm sure you can find someone to help you out.
possibly.
That would be cool. A little fashion. The Roadmans? Nigga, what? That's crazy. I just fucking realized that. The Roadmans? Yeah.
My guy said the road, man. I'm actually dead.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That would that not be a fire ass name too? The
That's
Roadman.
actually a dope name. I actually need to copyright that.
You
The
get,
Roadmans.
give me my royalties for that shit.
I'll give you 5%.
I'll take that. Fuck it. I'll take 5%. I need to come out with some. I need to come out with something crazy. Like, I was talking to have you ever thought about owning something that isn't in fashion, like just for some extra dosh on the side?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Like what?
Like, so I'm into basketball, so I was
Oh
gonna
yeah.
my plan was because in London there aren't too many really good places to play basketball, like
Mm.
indoors.
Mhm.
So when I was like caking, I'll like build a indoor facility for basketball and then just like rent it out.
Oh, that's a
Like
fire
you
idea.
have to like pay to
Yeah.
play,
There's a
and then that would
couple.
just like sustain me for a really long time.
There's a couple gyms that are like that out here in New York, where you could just
Yeah,
where you could just go out and play soccer for however long, and then you rent it out for the next people, whatever. Uh,
yeah.
I can't get past this. We have to talk about basketball for a little bit. Who's coming out of the West and who's coming out of the East?
The West, oof, the West is tough because you've got no one knows who's going to out of like the Pelicans and
to get the seed.
yeah, that eighth, yeah, that last seed, like between the Pelicans and Mavs, like a lot of teams, they're like, oh, who's gonna get this last seed?
Yeah.
Um, what do you think? Who do you think? Wait, let me ask you this question. Who do you think is going to be? We're kind of digressing from Diet Prada here, but who cares? Who
Okay.
do you think?
We'll go back to it in a second.
Who do you think is going to be the rookie of the year
It has to
between
be.
Ja Morant and Zion?
It has to be Zion because this is ridiculous. He's fucking averaging 25 and 7. 25 and 7. And he's shooting 58% from the field. There's no way John
Yeah.
Morant can. And he's about to lift his team out of like what were they in the 10th, 11th spot? And he's about to
Yeah.
lift
If they
them.
make the playoffs, then yeah, it's not a debate.
No, nothing for debate. I mean, even if they don't make the playoffs, which I think they will, because the Grizzlies have a really, Grizzlies have a really tough schedule, and Pelicans have a really easy schedule. I think they're gonna make it.
I just can't believe he's 6 foot what 6, and he
He's
plays
like
center.
he's like 6'6" and it's like 6'6.5" maybe.
Like, bro, how do you play set? Like, I saw a
Well,
picture where
he plays kind of
he
power.
jumped. Yo, bro, he jumped with Dwight
Oh
Howard,
yeah. Oh,
and his
please,
arm was higher than
please.
Dwight Howard's arm, and Dwight Howard's like 7 feet tall.
He's probably like he's out of shape too. He's out of shape right now.
Yeah.
He's like 300 pounds. He's 300 pounds. Are you kidding me? 300 pounds. And he's fucking leaping out of the gym, grabbing boards over Dwight Howard, ripping the ball from Giannis. I mean, really, you can't. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Bro, if he lost like weight, if he got down to like 260, he would actually be flying.
I don't think he's
He
gonna
would
get down.
actually fly. Bro, if he decided to lose that amount of weight, he could just take off from like halfway and probably dunk it at that point.
Oh, please, you just whoosh, dunk on some nigga's
He
head
would
like
actually fly.
he's actually
Because, bro,
insane.
how can you be 300 pounds and jump like that? Are
That's what
you
I'm
crazy?
saying. He just plays bully ball too. Like they don't know what to do with him. Have you seen the highlight reel where he gets his own
Bro, I've been
boards?
watching all his highlights.
It's insane.
He jumped. It's his first step. It's too quick.
Yeah.
Like, his reaction's too fast. Like when he misses, he's like straight back up, like so quickly.
I
So
can't
I don't
believe
even see how anyone could out rebound him because you just that like sort of quick step. It has to come naturally.
someone did the calculation and it was like based on him grabbing his own misses, he's like 70% from the field. Like that's insane. That's an insane amount. Like could you imagine that?
That's so true because yeah, he does grab his own misses and just keeps going until it goes in.
He's like, oh, I missed this. All right, let me just grab that shit back. All right, I got you.
Like he's not making sense. Like 6'6", posting 7-footers
Yeah.
up,
Well,
like and just bodying them under the basket. Like bro, like chill.
I got the Clippers versus the Celtics in the finals.
Really?
Yep.
Not the Lakers.
Nope. No way. The Lakers aren't. They already beat. Clippers already beat the Lakers twice. Once without Paul George. Anthony
Yeah,
Davis.
but bro, that we haven't seen them in a 7-game series though. With LeBron playing for his life, because when the playoff comes, LeBron like he's a different beast.
Okay, but he has a bunch of wing defenders that can defend him. Never mind Pat Bev who blocked the shot in the Christmas game. he got Marcus.
Bro, only 2 people can guard LeBron: Kawhi and Bev. That's it.
Paul George.
I don't think you can guard LeBron.
think
He's
Paul
a good
George-
defender, but I don't think you can guard LeBron. No.
I say you got Kawhi, you got Paul George, you got Marcus Morris, and if you really need, you got Pat Bev.
Marcus Morris.
Marcus Morris is a dog.
LeBron.
Marcus Morris is a
He
dog.
is a dog, but like LeBron though.
Yeah, LeBron. He's gonna cause some trouble for him down the stretch. I'm telling you.
The only person who like definitely is Kawhi. Kawhi can shut anyone down.
Yeah.
Like he's just a
100%,
monster.
100%. Except for Jason Tatum, because Jason Tatum's a god. He dropped. See that? See my nigga Jason Tatum dropped 39 on his head.
I don't know what it is about Tatum. The way he plays, it looks so sexy. Like the way he shoots, like everything he does. I don't know why, but it just looks so sexy.
As everyone knows, I'm a huge Celtics fan. His footwork is amazing.
it's just the way he play. It's just so smooth. It's like, damn,
Next
just
time,
watching it.
next time you watch a game, look at his footwork. That I think that is what like what helps him more than anything. Working out with Kobe definitely helped his footwork because he gets around people. He maneuvers himself in certain ways where he can get to the basket and lay it up and whatnot. Like
Yeah, he's shifty.
yeah,
He's so shifty.
that's exactly right. He's really shifty. He just
But then,
cut.
yo, Ja Morant, even though I know Zion's gonna win like Rookie of the Year over
Mhm.
him, he is so shifty. Have you watched his highlights?
I've watched him a little bit. I haven't watched him as much as
Bro, you
others
should.
live.
He does some crazy stuff in games.
He
Crazy
yeah,
stuff.
he
Like there
just
was one time he like, did I show you where he went for a dunk?
oh
Then he
yeah, yeah, and he
in
missed it
mid-air
though.
he just like no. He's been missing like posters, but this one he went for a dunk. Then he decided mid-air, actually, no, I'm not gonna dunk it. I'm gonna pass. And then he like
Oh yeah,
did a 360 mid-air and then passed.
that was
I'm
crazy.
like, bro, how the hell do you do all of that in air? Like, what the hell?
I'm taking John Morant over a lot of niggas in the NBA. I'm taking him over Bradley Beal. I'm taking him over Devin Booker. I'm taking him over Zach
Definitely.
LaVine. I'm taking over all those dudes Trey Young is the worst basketball player I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. That nigga is so bad. He contributes to his wins. No way possible. He's the worst defender in the league. The worst. Like
But
like
like, okay, guys don't really like most guys that play basketball are casuals, which is cool. Like I almost play pro, so like I see the game differently.
yeah,
And like even like my coach used to tell me if you drop 40 points, but who you're guarding drop 50, you're minus 10. But
exactly.
people don't see basketball that way, so they just see Trey Young drop 35. Ah, he's so good. But then check who he's guarding. He's a liability all the time. He's
He
like what 6 feet tall, like 5'11".
it
That's an easy matchup every day.
every
Like, bro,
single time.
when he goes up against a tall point guard like LeBron or Lonzo, he's done.
Please, it's ridiculous. He can't get. People will blow by him like it's nothing. I could blow by him. I'm
Okay,
5'10".
good.
I'm a
Um,
hundred. I'm 120 pounds. I'm 5'10". I'm blowing by him at any fucking time. He's the like when I say he's the worst defender in the league, I'm not doing shtick. Like he's actually
bro,
statistically
what happened
the
to James
worst.
Harden?
What do you mean what happened to him?
He's the worst defender in the league, not
He's
Trey
actually
Young.
not. No, he's not that bad. People sleep on his defense. He's not that bad. He's actually not that bad. Like a couple of years ago, yeah, definitely, but he's not that bad actually. Like if you watch him, like he gets there. He plays serviceable defense. I'll say he's not like obviously he's not like a really good defender. He plays serviceable defense. He's not a liability anymore.
Yeah.
Before he just would let niggas go to the basket and just watch them. Like that was before. Like, he would just watch people go to the basket. That was the worst. Okay, we talked enough about basketball.
Yeah.
Actually, to have a little bit. Why is it that basketball players don't know how to dress?
Yeah. You know what it is? I feel like if you weren't into fashion and then you get loads of money, I feel like by virtue you're just going to end up buying quote unquote drip, which is like
Right.
Gucci print, Balenciaga print. There's some stylish people like Westbrook, LeBron, like LeBron be wearing Tom Brown and stuff. Like,
I think I don't know if you know Shy Gilgis Alexander.
yeah.
He dresses kind of
Alexander, he's,
nice.
he's new though. That's the guy who signed with like New Balance or something like that.
Something like that. He dresses kind of nice.
Yeah, he's cool. There's like a few people that like, yeah,
But for the
I
most
can
part,
say Jimmy Butler dresses good as well.
really, does he?
Yeah, he does.
For the most part, I don't know what it is, but athletes in particular, they just don't know how to fucking dress at all. Yeah, but I think you're right about that. That's what I was pondering as well.
They
It's
just
like,
have so much damn money, but
yeah,
they're hoopers, bro. Like they don't care about fashion. They spend all their time being jocks.
then
So now they've got money, they're just gonna buy what they think is drip.
just buy regular clothes then, or don't put it in such outlandish like prints with yourself. Like I just don't understand. And
Some people do it like Tyson Chandler. We could like have a whole discussion about like NBA fits, but
really good.
Tyson Chandler has like that like rock star kind of like cowboy vibes,
Yeah, I
which
see
is
what you
quite
mean.
cool. And then what's his name? Kevin Love has a really like normcore style. Like he's just dresses plain, but it's cool.
Well, they're both old ass men,
Well, yeah, that's true.
so
That's true.
you're gonna mellow out a little bit once you get that old. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know what needs to stop? Absolutely needs to stop. Is freaking the skinny jeans. Like, we've had this
I hate skinny denim with rips. I think that's like one thing I just cannot stand.
we've had this revolution in the fashion world, right? But we haven't talked about it enough in the fucking NBA world because these guys are how big are they? They're 6'5", 6'10". Like these niggas are giant, wearing the skinniest fucking pants ever, with really big shoes, and I'm like, dude, you just can't. I don't know who's telling you that. Like
Size 20s.
somebody in their camp needs to be like, yo, you need to fucking cut it out because this is not good. Like you're way too big to be dressing like that. You dress like a 15-year-old white kid that goes to school. Like it's just not cool. It's fucking lame as shit. That kills me every single time I watch. I see NBA players. Is the fucking fits. It makes me cringe. Maybe that's just because I'm into fashion. Like you can't really turn that off. Like you know what I mean. Like once you're into fashion, you can't really turn
Yeah.
certain things off. You just look at it and just be like, ugh, the fuck is this nigga wearing?
What they do is they just slap on a lot of things they see, I don't know, on Instagram or whatever, and then think it's like drip.
Yeah. Oh,
But it's like, there might be good individual pieces, but you should have matched them a bit differently.
right, right. Speaking of drip, what do you think about skirts on dudes?
It depends. It honestly depends. Like Rick
Mm.
Owens makes some skirts that don't even look like skirts. They're like skirt shorts.
Right.
So they're actually shorts, but then they have panels at the front and the back, so they give an illusion that they're actually a skirt. Then there's also another pair of shorts he does that they have pleats in a way where when you walk, it looks like a
It
skirt,
looks
but
like
if
a
you look
skirt.
closer, it's a short. So there are situations where even skirts can look masculine, but wearing some like curved out skirt made for a woman, where women have like smaller waists and then bigger
Mm.
hips, it just looks a bit odd.
That
It's not designed for our bodies.
right, right. That's what I think. But I think like skirt trousers look kind of cool.
Yeah.
There are certain like I said, there are certain skirt trousers that like the combination of the both makes it kind of cool. I was looking at a pair, and I'm about to pull it up on screen in a second. I was looking at a pair that looks pretty cool, and I was like, yeah, maybe that's not a bad. That might not be a bad look for me. You know what I mean? But then
Yeah.
again, like I said, like just the actual skirt itself is not built for the male body.
I think that's what people lose when they get into all this gender fluid stuff because it's
Right,
like
right,
the design of a dress is actually for a woman.
right.
So if a man was to wear a dress, you're just gonna have to wear a dress that's designed for a man because women don't have massive broad shoulders like men.
Right.
So when we wear dresses, it looks odd because like the shape doesn't work.
It's very
It's
star.
designed for like more narrow shoulders.
It's very startling. I've seen a dude in the dress before that just was not fit for him. It just wasn't, and it was. And
It honestly, like it for men, when you wear dresses that aren't designed specifically to be androgynous or to be like unisex,
hmm
they literally look like you're wearing your little sister's dress.
Right. Yeah. It does. It looks really strange. This is what I was on about. Why is it taking so long to load? Is I don't understand. What the fuck?
Your internet,
I
bro.
got dial-up energy. I mean, dial-up internet over here. But
God damn.
it'll come up in a second. But anyways, uh, yeah, it was really strange. It looked. You're right. It looked like somebody was wearing their little sister's dress, and I was just like,
Yeah.
look, guy, do you? But this doesn't look good. Like it just objectively does not look good on you.
Yo, that looks like Peter Doe.
It is.
Oh, is it? Oh, no
Oh,
wonder. Yeah, it does look
smart
like
cookie.
Peter
It
Doe.
is Peter Doe. What's it called?
Jeez.
What's it called? What do you
Oh
think?
yeah, it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Docs Peter.
What do you think about the? Do you think there's some kind of silhouettes that males should add to their wardrobe, like typical dudes? We wear whatever. We don't
It
really
just
care. We're
it
cool.
depends. Yeah, it's you can wear whatever, but also it's like just body type, man.
Hmm.
Like someone like me, my body's all legs and I have a small torso. So to make my proportions look better, I have to wear like longer fitting shirts
Mm.
so my body looks more balanced.
Right.
If you have short legs, then you have to wear like high rise trousers to make your legs look long. Like there's just people just have to know like how to dress their bodies.
I can't tell if I have long legs, like for my body. Obviously, I can't tell if I'm long in the legs or long in the torso because some
You
fits
could just be balanced.
it could be balanced, yeah, but some fits it
Not
looks,
everyone has like one long part.
right, right. Some fits it looks like I have long ass legs comparatively to my body, and other fits it just looks like I'm normal. Like this, It looks like to me I have long legs. This one looks like I'm regular. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just can't
Yeah.
win. Regardless, it just looks. Yeah, I'm
No,
probably.
I'd say you're pretty balanced.
Yeah, I'm
I'd say
probably
your
balanced.
proportions are quite good.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty balanced.
Yeah,
What's it
sound like
called?
you could probably wear anything, to be fair.
Yeah,
Someone like me, who my legs are just way longer, I have to be careful.
I try to wear everything. The problem with a lot
Otherwise, I'm
of
just
like,
gonna look like stick man.
sorry.
Otherwise, I'm gonna look like stick man.
I feel like the problem with a lot of influencers like on Instagram and stuff is that they don't step out of their comfort, like not even comfort zone. They just don't wear anything different than what they usually wear in terms of like the same kind
Yeah,
of style.
facts.
Like if you go on my page, there's 100 million different styles on my page, but for like the most part, if you go to an influencer's page, it's the same style.
Yeah, and it's like a lot of influencers do this really easy menswear tailoring type style, like
Mm.
blazer and sneakers, and bro, it's just so
Yeah, yeah,
easy to
yeah,
do that.
yeah.
Like
That
you're
an-
not pushing any boundaries whatsoever.
that annoys the shit out of me. The fucking the blazer, the suit, the blazer and the suit pants, and then the fucking sneakers. That I don't know why, but that annoys the
The thing is,
shit out of
it's
me.
not bad. It's not bad. It's definitely
No,
like there's stylish people that dress like that. It's just that the term influencer, you're supposed to influence people.
right.
It's supposed to, it's supposed to like be inspiration, like outfit wise. So it's supposed to push boundaries. And I don't see any boundary pushing in wearing like sneakers and a fucking suit for in like different colors.
Yeah, I've done it before, but this is like the
Like I said, it's a nice style,
yeah.
but like when that's all someone does, it's just like, oh my God.
This is the only time I've done this shit. You should copy me. Everyone just copy me. Don't do this shit once and just leave it. That's it. You've done it once. You're gone.
Yo, those shoes are hard, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Those are the OGs.
I got rid of them too.
Did you actually? Oh,
I
I should
did.
have kept the
I
OG. It was
know.
all you
I
guys,
know.
boy.
I got rid of. There's a lot of things I've got rid of that over time, just like what the fuck was I
Because you
thinking?
don't see those anymore, so
No,
that's the thing.
no, not at all. Another thing I got rid of was my that I wanted to keep. This is not. This is like something that I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd wear it now, but I got rid of my Obama anorak, and I wish I'd kept on to that motherfucker.
Damn, that was a classic. The Supreme one.
This is a free one.
Ah, that was a
I
classic.
know, right? I really should have kept on, held on to it, no matter how bad
Nah,
this fit
bro,
was.
that is that is quite bad. Not gonna
Yeah, no,
lie.
no matter how bad this fit
Nah,
was.
nah, I went through that phase as well, just like
Yeah,
throwing hype pieces together and it's swag.
I know. I
We've
miss it.
we've all been there. We've all been there. No shade.
Yeah, I miss this piece so much. Fucking Calabasas
Yeah,
pieces and shit.
bro. That anorak was so hard.
Was right. The green one was ass. Let's be honest. The green one was ass. This fucking like burgundy type colorway is cool though.
Yo, there's a time in London everyone used to wear that thing, like all these Supreme kids. And I'm like, fam, what do you really know about Obama, bro? Like, let's be serious.
Especially over there. What the fuck do they know
Yeah,
about us?
exactly.
This is some black.
Definitely over here. Most guys didn't know
They
who
just
the
know
hell.
he's some
They
black
just
dude
know
that
who
runs the
he
country.
is. First black president of America, and that's it. That's all they know about him.
I remember when I first got there, some guy talked to me and he was like, I don't really like that piece so much. And I was like, okay, I don't really care. I was like, all right. And he was like, they should have added Trump to it instead. I'm like, all right, like that's cool too.
What?
I really don't care. Like, he's trying to have like a political statement with me, and I'm just
Yeah.
trying to wear my clothes.
Supreme don't even like Trump, I think. I think they're like leftist in the way they think.
Definitely, they got a bunch of pieces like. They have like a Tupac piece. They have the Obama piece. Like they have like
Yeah.
Martin Luther King. Not to say that's a bad. Not to say you're automatically on the left if you like Martin Luther King, but you know. What
Yeah,
I
they're
mean.
just more left leaning.
Yeah, 100%.
I wouldn't say they're all the way left because the guys that are all the way left are kind of extremists as
No,
well. But yeah.
100%, 100%. Do you what do you think about brands being in a certain type of political bracket and them not necessarily like pushing their agenda because Supreme doesn't really push their agenda, but it's very clear what side they're on. Don't you think it's a little bit odd?
It kind of does. It's like, okay, so a brand that does this a lot is Christian Dior,
Mm-hmm.
like the women's wear.
Right.
So the creative director Maria Grazia Chiuri, she every collection talks about feminism, and like I get it because it's a women's wear brand, like
Mm.
women's empowerment, but she overdoes it. Like she
Right.
has print tees that say we should be feminists,
Mm.
and that was like you can even like Google it right now and put it up on the screen.
What's her name again?
And Oh no, just type in "we should be feminist" Dior, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
see this.
And
Yeah.
then after so the latest Christian Dior show, if you look at the set, it says all sorts of like different slogans like
Hmm.
women empowerment, women rule the world. Like it had loads of that stuff on the set. Like if you just type in, let's say Christian Dior fall winter 20 feminism or something like that, you'll see like she just kind of consent.
I did see this. Matter of fact, I totally did see
Yeah,
this. Yeah, yeah. And it was so ridiculous that I took one look at it and I looked
it's
away.
like it's just a bit too much. It's like you're overdoing it a bit, and I feel like it's biting her in the back because now people think she's a terrible designer, which she isn't, and it's because people focus on like these slogan tees. But
Right.
obviously, those are like two looks out of like
Yeah,
50.
of course.
But you just know how fashion goes. When people decide they don't like someone,
It just they don't like it. My
yeah,
back to the Virgil thing. But my problem with this is a thing that happens. I don't know about a lot in fashion, but it happens somewhat in fashion, like with this, and not even so much on a level like this fashion. But I've seen like in stores where it'll say like shirts that have this certain kind of slogans like this, right?
yeah.
And this is patronizing like to the max. Like it's so goddamn patronizing because we're treating women as some type of we need to like we always need to lift their spirits. You know, you matter too. Here, buy this shirt because you matter the most. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're
And that's
always
what it looks like to me because they're selling it.
yeah, exactly,
Which is a bit
exactly.
of a grey area. Like you're selling women's empowerment. Like that's a bit weird. That's a weird concept.
You want to promote women's empowerment? Have some kind of show that about women's empowerment that
Yeah.
maybe not even based in fashion, but Christian Dior sponsors this Christian Dior sponsors this show that not even a show, but an event that it speaks about women
I
empowerment.
think if they were really feminist, like if she was a real feminist, not like the feminist that like a lot of people just like to use the word.
Right, right,
She would go to schools where there are
right.
design students who are struggling financially but
Hmm.
have really good talent and give them jobs at Dior or like do something like
Or
that or
maybe an
give them
internship
funding.
even.
Yeah, or an internship, not just plaster consent on your set and then put "we should be feminists" and then sell it for £500. Like that's not
Exactly.
really like
It's
her feminism's a bit strange.
it's
She
patronizing.
was she was a big feminist. Like she believed in women's empowerment. Who owns Dior? Dior is under LVMH, I think. So realistically, all that money is going to Arnault, Mr. Arnault Bernard.
Uh,
Yeah, is it LVMH? It
yeah,
should be. Yeah,
LVMH.
LVMH. So yeah, so all that
Bernard
money
Arnault. Yeah, yeah.
is going to a man. So the feminism, mate, your feminism just it's not adding up.
It needs to in it, the feminism in this regard needs to be stopped immediately because it's like I said, it really does because it's patronizing to
There's
any.
just no I don't see like I'm just trying to like see where the female empowerment is.
It's there's no easy solution to women's empowerment, and it doesn't come from a fucking t-shirt. It doesn't come from that bag I saw in this terrible store that said "Women Matter" whatever the fuck the stupid shit said. It doesn't come from that. It comes from really sitting down and having a discussion, or whatever. I'm not a woman,
Or actually giving women
or
jobs, or
actually giving them.
actually
Yeah, exactly,
like
exactly.
you're the creative director of Dior, Christian
Christian
Dior. You have
Dior
so much power, and your idea of women's empowerment is just like
trying to sell
slogan
this tea.
t-shirts. It's just a bit.
It's just not it's not okay. It's not okay. I wanted to talk about this actually.
Yeah, that's why it's good you brought it up because yeah, that's
I'm glad I got it out.
at some point I'm probably gonna like talk about that show
You really
because like
should.
it's just like she just needs to chill out with all that feminism and actually just focus on the clothes.
You can focus on the clothes and still be for female empowerment without the fucking. There's no subtlety is the problem. There's no subtlety whatsoever.
It's just selling the empowerment is just what doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
she can
right.
focus on the clothes and then outside of the collection, like make events about women's empowerment and stuff.
Hmm.
That would have more of an impact than selling £500 to another woman and then the money going to a man. I just don't see how that's women's empowerment.
I'm surprised more people didn't talk about this actually. especially like
Well, because people are just scared to talk about stuff like this. That's why there's people like me and you.
right, especially on Twitter though, because like people on Twitter are stupid. They're the stupidest people on the
They
planet.
don't want to get cancelled.
Well,
You're cancelled.
I meant even the on the opposite side of us, because sometimes people on Twitter will like I swear I would assume somebody on Twitter would have been like, oh, this is great, you know. I don't know if you have a Twitter. Do you have a Twitter?
No, I deleted it a while ago. I just can't deal with it.
You
It's
need to
too
get
much
you
negativity.
need to get it immediately and just see what these fucking imbeciles say about the fashion world. People haven't worked a day in fashion, trying to have analysis on shit that they don't know a thing about, and it's the stupidest shit ever.
Okay, wait. Give me an example.
Like the fucking Comme des Garçons thing with the wigs. You should have
Oh
seen.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You,
yeah,
you
yeah.
should have seen these people analyzing. They didn't even know who the designer was. Let alone they didn't even know who the
Yeah, to
designer
be
was.
fair, if you don't know who Ray is, it's quite hard to criticize her saying
No,
she's like racist or whatever. When like, yeah,
number one, they don't even know who the designer is. Number two, they don't even know what CDG is outside of the fucking Cottonverse with the heart. I guarantee you, they didn't even watch the show. I
of
mean, these
course I
people.
didn't watch the show. They
No,
just, yeah, of course I didn't.
these people are imbeciles on Twitter.
I
Imbeciles on
wouldn't
Twitter.
go that far.
I would. The average IQ on Twitter is probably a 93 at max. It's so stupid.
Maybe that's why I deleted it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm still on it though because I have to see the buffoonery, the tomfoolery. You
It's
know,
just when I was on Twitter, it's just like people just were just chatting absolute shit, and I was just like, why am I even on? Like, I don't even tweet. Like, why do I even have Twitter?
you know
So I
who's on,
just deleted
you
it.
know who's on Twitter a lot? YOLO.
Is he actually?
Yeah, he tweets like a. He
What
tweets
does
like
he
a.
tweet?
I mean, he tweets like high fashion stuff, but his captions would be like a 14-year-old woman on like a 14-year-old girl on there, and it just makes you weak sometimes. Like, shouts out to Yellow if you don't know who he is. He runs high fashion.
Shouts out Yellow,
Everyone go check him out. But yeah, sometimes
the OG.
I'd be like, nigga, what are you doing? Yeah, you too
No,
old.
I actually need to get on Twitter because people like make fun of people on Twitter, and I need to see what they
Oh
tweet.
my
Like, you
god.
know, Sanjeev.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't remember who I was watching a video, but someone said that he tweets like angry tweets. So I was like, nah, I need to see this. Like when he complains about stuff, he complains about stuff on Twitter.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That is fucking hilarious. I gotta go check it out right now. Actually, are you cool with Sanjeev? Because I remember he was on he was on your live the other day.
Oh
Uh,
no, 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 I'm cool. I'm cool with Sanj. I literally saw him like a week ago. No, 2 weeks ago.
oh,
Was it a
really?
week ago or 2 weeks ago? I saw him quite recently.
Is it
Like Dover Street Market.
is it like you, Sanjeev, and Magnus? Do you guys ever hang out?
No way, no way. I'm not that cool with them. Like I know them, they know me. If
Right,
I see them, like we'll have a discussion, but we're not like friends. I'd say Sanjeev and Magnus are more like close.
right, right. People
Yeah,
don't.
that's like yeah, that's their clique.
I invited you don't talk to your friends about fashion, right? Like for the like outside of this podcast, obviously this is a fashion podcast for the most part, except for
Yeah,
the last one.
I don't.
We
Even
really
at
don't.
work, and I work for a fashion brand. I do not talk about
Yeah,
fashion because they just won't know what I'm talking about.
that's a weird thing about like I invited a friend to dinner the other day, and he's not into fashion, and like a lot of my friends are, and he was like, "Yo, are you guys gonna be talking about fashion?" And for the most part, I was like, "No, not really." Like once you become friends with somebody, like you feel less you feel less obligated to chat about
Yeah,
fashion. You know what I mean? Like when
I'd rather chat about other stuff because fashion is so much of my life. Like I work in fashion,
right,
like there's just
right,
fashion
right.
everywhere. Like I just want to talk about other stuff like basketball or whatever.
Yeah. We need to start a basketball podcast or some shit.
Bro, we actually should.
That'd be crazy.
That would actually be fire, and I feel like that would actually do well because basketball has a bigger market than fashion for
That's
sure.
for damn sure. Yeah, I talked about this before with my other friends about doing the fashion podcast, and I opened up my picture editing software, the thing that I use for usually videos and stuff,
Yeah.
and I just sat on there for about like an hour trying to figure out what kind of layout I should use and whatnot, and I was like,
Bro, it's hard because a lot of people, when you like even so before the Fashion Archive, I had a YouTube channel,
mm-hmm.
that was called the Fashion Capsule. It sounds terrible, but basically, that was supposed to be with one of my friends.
Right.
and he just wasn't like he wasn't driven, like he wasn't.
Right, right.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, 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 we're gonna do it. Then when he saw that I was getting 50 views, 20 views at first, he didn't stay back.
Mm.
That's why I just deleted that channel and then started my own thing.
You deleted it completely?
Yep.
Oh, that sucks. You should have kept that. I feel like you're gonna want to watch. Do you ever like? Oh, I want to go watch my old videos just to see.
I have the videos on like my laptop.
Oh, okay, okay. Cause
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't worry, don't worry.
yeah, yeah. Cause I had different YouTube channels that they were not fashion at all. They were video games when I was like 13 and shit.
Yeah.
And I and that's what I would try to do. I would have like the shittiest fucking laptop on the planet. I would try to fucking record this gameplay at 3 frames per second.
My word, what the
That was
three
it
frames?
was like so fucking terrible that no one even could comprehend what the hell was going on. And then I don't know why I deleted the channel. Either I deleted it or I can't find it. And yeah, no, I think I deleted the game, like completely deleted it. I'm like, damn, I wish I could go back and just see what the hell I was up to when I was mad young.
Yeah, the videos I made, they're just mad embarrassing. But I made some good ones as well, some good ones. But yeah, my whole point saying that was like from experience, I've learned that if you want to collab on a YouTube channel with someone, it's best to do it with an already existing YouTuber that posts a
Right,
lot
right, right.
because you know they're actually going to, because it's what they already do.
Going to continue doing that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. As opposed to like some random friend and you're like, oh, let's do this because they're just not gonna
They just might
like
not be into it like you.
work. Yeah, they won't.
Especially because you release it. Well, how do you have a upload schedule at all, or do you just
I
whenever?
I literally don't. It's just whenever, like
Mm,
whenever I can be bothered. Like now, I have a script ready for the Balenciaga Fall Winter 20, like a review,
right,
but I just haven't filmed it. I'm just like too lazy to film it. Maybe I might film it tomorrow, edit it, release it on Saturday.
right, right, right.
Like it's just random, honestly.
What time do you upload your videos? This is getting really weird into it, but like, what time? Do you
Um,
even care, or does that not matter either? Just whatever.
Sometimes I just release it whenever, but that I do understand like what times are best to post. So for
I
me, cause my audience is
mhm.
mainly American,
Yeah.
and then a big chunk of it is like Canadian and UK. So it has to be a time where like around it has to be around the time just when people finish school, but like people haven't finished work.
Right, right.
So like around that like 4 p.m. for like
Mm-hmm.
most people. So that 4 p.m. for most people would be for me around like 10 p.m., 9 p.m.
I feel like it doesn't matter so much for me because I have a small channel at the moment, and if
Yeah.
people are subscribed to me, they're most likely like in terms of
Trust me, bro, it makes a huge difference.
does
Like
it?
when I drop videos at random times, because what YouTube does is the time you have to post, it has to be just before a peak time.
Mm,
Because
right.
what's going to happen is a few people watch it. YouTube is going to be like, okay, let's push it out. A few people are going to watch it. And when they push it out is when most people on their laptops, which is the peak time.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gets loads of traction. So like when I released this video today, because I released it at 10, it's doing really well as opposed to like all my past videos.
Right.
Like past few videos that have just been like random times.
The only reason I said that for me is because I feel like I don't have a like when you have I have a small channel like this, and when you have a small channel like that, then you have like a niche kind of subscriber count, and the ratio of people who subscribe to me and like the views I get is pretty good in terms of YouTube. I would like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean. I have like what 750 subscribers, and every video I get like at least 200 views. Sometimes I get more than that. So
Yeah, that's dope. So that means most people just watch it
right,
whenever, like
that
whenever. Yeah.
exactly. That's what I mean. Like, that's why I didn't really care about uploading like whatever time. Do you ever we were talking
Yeah, at the like when your channel gets bigger, you have to care because like people, I don't know, people like pick and choose what videos they watch
right, right. But
unless you push it to them.
for you have a big channel, you know, so to speak. So it's gonna be more people who don't subscribe to you are gonna like go on and click it. Like if
Yeah,
they just see
exactly.
it on the homepage or they're like, oh, let me check this out.
Yeah.
Do you ever we were talking about the videos before. Do you ever go back and look at your old fits and be like, ooh,
Oh yeah, 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 bro. I have some terrible, terrible fit.
you took them off your Instagram?
Terrible. Of course I took them off my Instagram. Only because some people are going to like my YouTube channel and then being like, "Oh, bro, this is how he dresses. Why is he talking about fashion?" And then I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and the date is literally like 2015. I'm like, "Are you being serious?
Right, right. Yeah,
Like seriously, like make sense."
I have some fits like that where I just had taken them off because I was like a lot of
Like,
them.
bro, trust me, when your channel gets bigger and then you talk about fashion, people are gonna go
What the hell is he wearing?
like 100 posts down and then screenshot it and be like, bro, like you're talking about fashion, but you're like wearing like this, and you're
Yeah,
just gonna look at the date and it's gonna be like 2016.
in 2018, but still I'm wearing this.
Yeah, but bro, that's ages ago. Like,
Yeah, exactly,
people
exactly.
just yeah, people are just funny, man.
That is 2 years ago.
Yeah, I just took it down because like since people want to play that game, I'm only going to leave fits up that are a true representation of how I dress now.
Right,
So like,
right.
if you look at my Instagram now, there aren't that many fit pics. Like, I literally took most of them down.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
literally, literally.
You don't want people going back and be like, "Hey, what the hell is
That's it.
this?
Oh, what the hell are you wearing?
You can't wear this." We never talked about this panel. How was it being on the panel?
So still, yeah, it was cool. I think because all the guys there were cool though. Like I knew most of them.
Yeah,
Like I know YOLO,
of
I know
course.
Caitlin as well. My friend is Caitlin's boyfriend actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, someone who I went to school with.
Mm-hmm.
Then the guy to my left, I didn't know him, but he was cool. The guy to my right, that's Michael. He's sick. He's like a buyer
Mm-hmm.
for different
Right,
brands.
right,
Yeah, and then the guy beside Michael, he works for Magnus Running and Liam Hodges. He's like a production manager, so I know
Oh,
him as well.
all right.
So actually, I just happen to know all of that. It's because YOLO chose the panel.
Oh, he
So just
did.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So by virtue of that, it would most likely going to be people I know as well.
Yellow is the most professional, unprofessional person at the same time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when he really needs to be, obviously, like when it really counts, like he's super professional. That which I
Yeah,
respect about him.
100%.
But sometimes, like, I just be talking to him. He just says the stupidest shit. I'd be like, "What the hell? How did you even get this far in the fashion world?" Talking like that.
You have to be a balanced individual. I feel like YOLO is very balanced.
He definitely is. He's very disciplined when it comes to his work too,
Yeah,
which
definitely.
I find
It's
threatening
respectable
because
though,
I'm not as
because he's trying to
disciplined.
get somewhere.
No, yeah, I find that threatening though because I'm not as disciplined as he is. I mean, just
And YOLO has all the connects.
yeah, for sure. If
All the connects.
so, a lot of you obviously for people that listen, you don't hear what happens before I click the record button, but I really should have these things in order by now. But 10 minutes trying to get the overlay together for this episode. You would think by now, after what, how 20 episodes, I would have this set by now. No, no, didn't have it set. Still trying to get it together. Like that's just bad. It's just bad. But that's okay. You know, it's okay. I'm getting there. I'm getting there still. It'll be
Oh,
alright.
the Diet Prada video is blowing up.
Is
Like
it?
I'm just checking my analytics. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're gonna have to check that.
Like because obviously, like for my videos, I can tell when something's about to blow up.
Oh
Like if
yeah, yeah.
something, so it has 700 views in 2 hours, which is crazy. Like for my channel,
Do you
that
have
means
the?
like it's gonna have a lot of views.
Do you get the like? Do you ever look at YouTube Studio and like the ranking by views or whatever?
Yeah, but only because I want to like. All I need to check is like how it's doing within in like after 3 hours,
Right.
and then based on off that, I can check. I can like tell whether it's gonna do well or not.
I feel guilty because you know how you have your Skillshare sponsor.
Yeah.
I took that. I took one of the 500 spots. By the way, if you don't know, AO is sponsored by Skillshare. So for those who check out his video first, you might get a promotion code like whoever the first 500 people to click on it, you know, they get it.
Yeah.
And I was one of the first 500 people. I feel a little bit guilty only because like for some reason like it just feels guilty because I know you. And I was like, yo,
Why is it
I
guilty?
don't know. I don't know. I was like, let me get this before these motherfuckers take this from
Bro,
me.
if you get it free, it's free. Like,
That's crazy that they offer 2 months for free though.
yeah, and there's so much within those 2 months, bro. You could watch like most of the stuff you need to watch. To be fair,
I took it. I'm about to use this
and I
shit
was
right
trying
now.
to tell guys like, forget the fact they're paying me. Like, genuinely, you have nothing to lose if it's like 2 months free
Yeah,
and you can watch everything I'm talking about, like the Jeff Staples stuff.
yeah, yeah. I was like, shit. Let me. Do they have like video editing stuff on there?
I'm not sure, but I don't know how. To be honest, I don't know how it works. I just know that you have to apply
Mm-hmm.
to be a creator on
Right,
Skillshare, and you
right.
have to be like mad professional, like mad
You have to
accomplished.
have degrees and stuff.
Yeah, and then also the level of production on Skillshare is create like television level. So I
Oh
feel
wow.
like when you sign with Skillshare, they might send videographers to like make your classes,
Right. Damn.
and like they use their own editors. That's what it seems like because everything is so damn
Cause I
professional.
was about to say, what if I could be like, I could be a teacher on there. I could teach something.
Yeah, you have to apply, bro, and they're gonna like start asking for loads of credentials and shit. It's like long.
I have some credentials. Some.
Yeah, I don't.
this
To
this
be-
this show is a credential, no? That's a,
Actually, that being said, I did lecture at London College of Fashion last week.
and you were on a panel with YOLO.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm on a panel with man like YOLO.
We should. We should really have a TV show or some shit.
Bro, the funniest shit happened. So when I went to lecture at
Mm-hmm.
London College of Fashion, do you
Yeah.
know this guy Luca
Luca, what?
in High Fashion Talk? I can't pronounce
Oh,
his
oh, oh,
his
oh,
last name. It's like
Luca
Luca
Rousey.
Wazania.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know that was his class.
Oh,
So
really?
bro, yeah. So the lecturer like introduced me like, oh, here's like AO, like he's going to give a lecture, blah blah blah. And then
Huh?
Luca must have been like, what? AO, like what? And then he
Yeah.
looked and saw it was me. Then he came up to me. He was like, bro, what you doing in my class?
That's mad funny.
It was jokes.
Wait, what college was this?
London College of Fashion.
Cause I know someone trying to get into London College of Fashion, so I thought maybe whatever. But whatever. Anyways, yeah, dude, wouldn't it be cool for us to? We need to make like a TV show or some shit
Yeah.
that all the
We
whole.
we could definitely have a podcast on like basketball and stuff.
Oh, please, we could do that in 2 seconds. I can make a backdrop in 2 seconds, but I just need to design it. That's the only thing. I know what I want to look at. I'm not a graphic designer though. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
I struck gold with this freaking backdrop of mine for escaping normality. I remember I had someone the old. If you don't know, the old rendition of the show was called it's called the Slide Podcast. Excuse me for that big noise.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Slide podcast.
So
Mad.
you know what Slide is, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I used to work with those guys a lot, and I don't know what happened, but I think they sold the Slide and some other people own it now. But
Sliders, I thought that was like unknown vlogs thing.
it was, yeah.
Did he make the app?
He did not.
Oh, okay. I thought he made like so what is his involvement with Slide?
Some guy. Like that's it. I think he was a
Really? I
I
thought he was literally like one of the
no
like
no no
great.
no no no. He had the guys who made the app are like dudes from like the really smart guys from like college and stuff. Where one of them was
Oh.
one of them was like an IT guy. One of them was like a public relations type guy where he had studied in college. Like they were,
Oh, that makes sense.
which is why their page blew up so much because these guys knew fucking like they were actually like the case of Slide Official is its own fucking entirety of a video, which we could honestly make an entire video on. But just to give a briefing, because I talked to them like for an extended period of time, and I worked for an extended period of
We
time,
want the info, bro.
and I'm gonna just let it out because I think number one, I think they sold Slide, the two guys who owned it, and I think
Yeah.
Icy Cough Unknown Vlogs is still in there because they still follow him, and I think he's still somewhat involved somehow. I don't really know. And the old rendition of the show was called the Slide Podcast, right? And I
Yeah.
had oh wait, I'll go back to that later. But yeah, so the Slide Official was basically made by two guys who came out of college and they were like, let's just make it about fashion. I don't even know that they necessarily cared that much about fashion, but they were just that smart in this sort of a community building type of way where they
Yeah.
had studied this stuff and studied IT for the app and all this other kind of stuff, and they would have me beta test the new versions of the app and whatnot. And what happened was, I had talked to Unload Vlogs like once about some magazine stuff, and then he had featured my magazine in his video. I tried to talk to him. He said, "Yeah, but that will work." Never got a reply
Yeah.
after that. So I don't know what the fuck happened to him. And basically what happened was if you go through here, they stopped posting for like an extended period of time, and I would message them, we would chat through Telegram, and I would be like, yo, what's good? No reply. And it was like that
Damn.
for however long. and then all of a sudden they started uploading again. And then somebody had told me they're from Denmark, the two guys who owned it. And one of my friends from Denmark, who I was kind of involved with them as well, had told me that they had sold it to some other people. And I don't know. It's really messy. I don't know what is going on now. Which, if they sold it, why is IC Cough still involved?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really weird. But anyways, the point I was getting at with the being slide was that I had somebody design my backdrop to this podcast about it was like the slide podcast, and quite
Yeah.
frankly, looking back on it, I didn't even like the overlay that much. It was really not that good. Quite honestly, like it just wasn't. And it sucks to say that I wasn't that good because, somebody designed it for you. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it was just shit. I mean, it wasn't shit. It just wasn't that cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
I could probably pull it up right now, actually, if I look up Davidson Sonny. If I go to here, if I scroll way down. I don't want the audio to come through, but I know it will. Right here, right here. Yeah. Like, this is what it looked like before, which is not as cool as it does now.
Oh, okay.
Right. It doesn't look as cool now. It changed it up a little bit. I changed it up a little bit, and then I was like, you know what? I kind of want it to be my own thing. Because if
Damn, slide better cut the check.
that's what I'm saying, yo. They should have cut me some checks, yo. But after I was like, yeah, I really wanted to, if it's under the slide name, I can't really say what the hell I want.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna just cut away from that, and then boom, I went up to.
The escaping normality thing is so hard because obviously it's like someone running and escaping. Like, yeah, it's hard.
It's dope, right? Dope. Yeah. So I'm glad that's the new show. That's a new whole rendition. Have you ever thought about making content that isn't in what you do now?
What isn't like what I normally do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still considering making a channel about basketball. I just don't know how to go about it. Because I want to like make a channel where I react to stuff happening in basketball, but then I don't know like copyright. So you know who Oprah Side is, right?
Oprah Side?
Yeah,
I don't believe.
check him on YouTube. He like reacts to basketball videos. Oprah Side. So you know like Oprah, like yeah, Oprah Side. Yeah, him.
Yeah.
So he fully reacts to, but it's so weird because anyone that reacts to NBA videos, they get copyrighted.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. I'm like, how does he do that?
There are a couple other guys who have like basketball content, and they get away with it somehow.
How do they do that? I don't know why. Is it because they're big? Because obviously they were small at some point.
Right.
So I just don't know how they manage that.
My thing is that maybe if it's like a podcast type thing. This podcast is visual, but a lot of podcasts aren't.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we would do it. Really, we'll talk about that later.
It makes it more interesting. Like maybe when we're talking, we could just pull up stats and stuff.
Yeah, that would be better. And but the thing is, some people want to see actual like what the hell's going on.
Yeah, the gameplay and the video and all that stuff. We could try it. I mean, so long as the audio isn't running, maybe we could get away with like nothing's gonna get flagged.
I think that helps actually if the audio isn't.
I think if there's no audio.
But that's another weird thing about the NBA because the audio isn't the same from each channel. Like, if you have like some games are, for those that don't know, some games just aren't naturally televised. A lot of games aren't actually, and only like the most popular games or who they think is going to get the most views are nationally televised. And depending on who's televising it, if it's from Boston, if it's from wherever, then they have different announcers, which means it's different audio for each. So if they're gonna copyright it, who the hell's copywriting it? Is it NBC? Is it TNT? Is it?
You normally see when they copyright you.
Right.
It'll be like NBC has copyrighted.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what is problematic about it.
Bro, I hate that shit so much. Like, I have a video that I released a year ago, and I got copyrighted for it today. And do you know why? Because the people who own it, they changed the ownership. So someone bought the ownership of this, like someone bought the rights to these like particular sounds. And then because the people who owned it before like didn't really care like that, they were just like, yeah, if you're using it, you're like promoting it. These other guys feel like now we're just gonna get the money from everywhere.
Right.
So that can also affect you. So literally stuff that was actually copyright free can become non-copyright free.
My vlog video got copyrighted because of the you know what it was? I think it was the music in the background of the show I was at.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was
That
like
happens.
it was like fuck, they really got me because of that. Like, you know what I mean? Like these motherfuck. Like it wasn't even
Bro,
that.
trust me,
It's
be careful
crazy.
with copyright because when my channel was small, like when I had like 200 subscribers,
Yeah,
I didn't care about copyright.
yeah.
And then when I could monetize my videos, I missed out on so much money. Like my biggest videos were like all copyrighted.
Really, that's tough. Yeah, because this one got copyrighted like like that.
Yeah, because you
It's
know, once your channel gets monetized, every single video becomes monetized, like all the videos in the past.
mm,
So you got to be careful.
that's why I asked in the Discord. I was like, did anyone watch this video get an ad in it? Because I don't have ads on my videos because it's not monetized. But
Yeah.
it said, look,
Oh no, if they copyright a video, they can put ads on your video
which is
and
really
make the
cool.
money off it because they own basically the rights to the video.
All right, they can have the fucking $1 that video made. Enjoy it. Go buy.
Sometimes I don't care though because if a video gets so many views, it's like an exposure thing. So it's like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
keep the
true.
money, but at least I'm getting the views and attraction.
It's weird how some videos just go up like in flames or something. Like what some people want to watch or not. You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
get it. Like I made two videos about Balenciaga and they just blew up way bigger than any of my other videos.
This video started
Like,
off.
is it because most people know what Balenciaga is? I
I
think it might be that.
I think it's just because so many people. Yeah, like you said, like a lot of people just know what Balenciaga is, and they don't really like even if you're not in the fashion, you know what Balenciaga is at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this video was off to a slow smart start, like where like nobody watched it, and I don't really care about views or whatever. But then it just started picking up, and I was like, oh okay, like people want to know about the Balenciagas. People just want to know about them.
Literally because just the name, I feel like because people know the name.
All right, which one? The Tyrex, the Triple S, or the Zen?
Which one do I like the
The
most?
most.
Probably the Zen.
What?
I'm joking.
Dude,
I thought you'd actually think I was being serious. No, no.
I thought I was.
The Tyrex, the Triple S, then the Zen.
Are you gonna try to secure a pair? Well, I mean,
What
secure.
Tyrex?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Nah, it's like I would wear it, but for that money, there's so much other stuff I'll buy before that.
Right. I saw it in person. It's actually dope as shit.
Yeah, it is. Like my friend has a pair, a black pair.
Really? I don't like the all
Yeah.
black pair. I don't really like all black shoes though. If you see my,
Like if you go on his Instagram is Sylvan Unlocked. So
oh oh
SILVAN SI.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, I know this guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He has the black pair. I think
Oh,
he's
there it
got
is.
that yeah.
Yeah, those are
Like on feet, they actually look
they look
doper than
crazy.
yeah.
And in person, like I went to I was waiting for someone, so I went to stopped by the Balenciaga store real quick, and they're like, oh, I was like, oh, these are dope actually. Like I wasn't 100% sure about them at first, but then I was like, oh,
Yeah.
like they're dope. Do you know this guy?
Yeah, that's Jaffa.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I went to his party recently. He had a collaboration with True Religion.
Do you fuck with him?
Nah. Nah.
Yeah.
Okay, no. Should we have this conversation now? Do you wanna have?
Um,
Do you wanna?
we're
Do you
already
wanna? Do you wanna
we're an hour and 13 in. We could have the conversation now.
yeah, the episode is already long anyway. So might as well make it longer. I
Nah,
guess
fuck it.
people
Let's
when
just
they
make
listen
it.
to podcasts, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So
Why don't you like him?
I don't like talking bad about people because like to be fair, that's just not what I do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Of course.
he's very so the guy he's successful in fashion.
Yeah.
He he's designed a jacket that Off-White wore.
Mm.
So I said Off-White, Offset
Yeah.
wore
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
at like the Grammy Award, something crazy like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So he's like doing big stuff. But so back in the day, like when we were all into like streetwear, Supreme drops, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there was this shop that everyone used to go to called Never Fade.
Okay.
And that was where like all the quote unquote cool kids used to go and network. That's how like everyone in London knows everyone.
No
Like
idea.
it's from Never Fade days. And like in Never Fade you could sew stuff. Like there was a sewing machine.
Oh.
Anyone could use it. Yeah. So like most people that are like designing now, they learnt from like Never Fade and
Never
stuff like
fade.
that. He's one of them. So then Never Fade closed down.
Mm-hmm.
And then because there was no like central place for everyone to go to anymore, guys just kind of like went their separate ways, which is all cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So he, since Never Fed, obviously he's done that design for like Offset and whatever. And now he's kind of changed. He's like not the same. He's a bit too, what's the word? It's like he's done some big things, but I
Mm-hmm.
think he thinks they're bigger than it is.
Right.
Because like the two things you've done, they haven't made you a millionaire. So I don't see why he behaves the way he does now. He behaves like he's made it type of thing.
I talked to him on a couple occasions, and back when I had my magazine, which is coming back soon. He did photography for Dirty South for one of the like this is one of the articles I had in it, right? And he had done photography for it, so I got to talk to him, whatever, and we were just talking about what he wanted to do, we wanted him to do, who we wanted him to have with him. This is a lot of work that went into this fucking magazine. Jesus Christ, you have no idea. But, and after everything was said and done, everything was fine. It was all done, and then we just started. When you finish working with somebody, you just try to talk, small talk or whatever. And he came
Yeah.
across as the biggest dick.
Wait, how though? How?
It was like he started flexing on us like what he had for some reason.
Yeah.
It was really, really, really weird, and he flexed on us that he and
Huh?
yeah,
Wait, what?
yeah. I blurted it out so the people at home did not hear that, but I was just like, what the fuck? Like, it was just really weird. It was really weird, and I was like, all right, man.
He's a bit of a strange guy, bro. I have so many stories. Like, remember, this guy is like in my circle, bro.
Mm.
So like, there's one time he had it this drop. Like, he was doing an event with Edgster. I'm not sure if you know what
No,
Edgster
I
is.
don't. I don't.
It's like a London store that was like known for having all the like cool streetwear brands first, like Ada Era and all those brands.
Mm-hmm.
But now the store has kind of like closed down and like they're just a brand. But so Edgster, they used to like throw parties, throw events or whatever. So he
Right.
had this event in collaboration with Edgster at Fashion Week,
Okay.
and he asked me specifically if I could come and film it. And then I came to film,
Right.
and I came up to him and I was like, "Yo, what's up, bro?" And he like was acting like he didn't know who I was. Like I was just like, he acted like
What
I
the?
was his fan, and like I had just come to like I don't know what he was trying to achieve. I don't know whether to him that's like swag or a flex or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
but
yeah.
he wanted to act like I was a fan who like really liked his brand, who like
Mm.
came with my camera, who just like wanted to film stuff. And I was just like, what is wrong with this guy? Like another example is his party, the True Religion party,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I just don't, me and him, we don't really see eye to eye. To be fair,
Yeah.
like it's not like he dislikes me or I dislike it. I just don't like. I just if he's gonna be there, I just won't go.
I feel like if he gets word of me talking this, he's not gonna like it because we butted heads a little bit before because of what, like, it was just weird.
He's just a bit strange. It's like, okay, so let me give you another example. Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm not gonna bait out my friends, but let me just say me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't go to his party for him. I went because one of my really good friends was DJing. One of my guys, Nosa, he was DJing at the event. So Nosa told me he was like, I'm DJing at Jaffa's thing. So um, like if you've got free time, pull up. So I was like, yeah, no problem. I always come to your set,
Yeah. Yeah.
always support whatever. So now it's time to go backstage because obviously I'm trying to say hello to Nosa before I leave.
Uh-huh.
And then the security guard's like, oh no, Jaffa said no one's allowed to go in. So I've looked and I've seen all my friends in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, what? Like, call him. So then I've called him and he's come and I've been like, yo, like Jaffa, like what's going on? And I was like, because also Jaffa asked like me and some other guys to actually come, like specifically asked
Right.
us to
It was
come.
specifically asked for
So
you.
if you ask someone to come to your event and
Hmm.
then they're asking to go backstage and then you're like, nah, how does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly. That's yeah, no. That
Like
doesn't work like that.
what?
It doesn't work like that.
And then he was just acting weird. Then he started saying he was like, oh, I'm claustrophobic, like like if there's too many people, like I'm claustrophobic. And then I just looked back and I was
What?
like, bro, there's like
What?
50
The
people
fuck
there.
is that supposed to mean?
Like, what are you talking about? There's like 50 people there. One person extra will not make you claustrophobic, bro. I can assure you. And it's like, bro, he was just acting weird, and he does that all the time. It's just how he is. He's just a bit of a strange guy.
I
And like
was
most of the stuff he does is like to kind of flex on people. Like
it's
he's just
100%
weird,
is
man. He's just weird.
a
He's
hundred
just
percent
weird.
is. I
I
went
don't doubt he'll be successful in the industry, and I wish him luck. But I just will never be friends with him, bro. It's just not my
no
type of guy.
no definitely not. I'm going through our old messages, and I'm just basically I'm just trying to make conversation. I'm trying to make friends with people. You know me, my shtick. And then he goes, and then he goes, uh, what is this? What you are, Davidson? Oh, I was like, you a fan? I was like, what? He goes, that's what you are, Davidson. You a fan? That's what you are. And I'm like, I'm a fan.
Wait, what?
I don't get the yeah. I was like, I don't quite get the terminology. I'm a fan of you. Meanwhile, we hired him to do it. So you a fan is like it's a bit of a stretch. Just because you hire someone doesn't mean you're a fan of them.
Yeah, bro, he used to be cool, but ever since he did that like offset thing and like now he has a collab with True Religion, it's like getting to his head.
Yeah,
Like not to be mean or anything, but bro, how many followers does he have? 24K.
yeah,
Like, bro, you haven't made it. Like,
right.
chill out.
And I
Like,
was,
actually chill out.
and that
Like,
was when
because
he had he
because
had
when you
below like
haven't even made
10K.
it and you're already like
Right, right.
acting that way, you're just blocking opportunities that could come your way. All in the just because you want to look like a certain like swaggy or whatever. Like
To
that if that type of behavior, the way he acts, if someone like ASAP Rocky behaved like that, I'd be like, oh, okay. That makes sense. He's a
yeah, it
millionaire,
makes sense. He's a
whatever.
fucking millionaire with all
But
this
bro,
money and
you've
bitches.
got 24K on Instagram. Like, chill out.
Anyone outside of the fashion world doesn't know you. Unless you can break the boundaries of your community, then you're not really famous. I don't think. You know what I mean? Like,
Like people in fashion don't even know him like that. It's more streetwear kids. Like I
right,
said, bro, he has 24K subs.
right. Me
Sorry,
like
I said subs.
I know what you mean.
Followers.
Followers. Like me and you, we're not famous because we haven't broken out of a fashion boundary. Like,
Exactly.
I would say fuck it. I would say I'm known.
I'm definitely not even remotely close to being
Right.
famous. Like, I don't act like that. Like I don't. If I see someone, I'm not gonna act like, "Oh, you a fat." Like what?
I would say I'm known only because a lot of like, I know a lot of people in the industry. Not so many people follow me, but I know a lot of people in the industry. So that's why I would say I'm known. But unless you break like if you make music, unless people outside of like who really fuck with that genre of music really know you, then I don't
Yeah,
think you're
exactly.
famous. Like you're just known.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're known. A lot of people in the fashion world are just known in
Like
fashion.
London is also small, so like most fashion guys know everyone. Like most like guys like me, a lot of my friends, like we just know everyone in the scene. Everyone in the scene knows us.
Right, right, right.
So like okay, so to some
Hmm.
people think I'm so cool only because like some people who have gotten into fashion recently, they look up to guys like Jaffa and like all these guys who like we came up the same time.
Yeah.
So they look at me like, yo, like this guy. And I'm like, yo, it's not that deep. We just used to go to Supreme
Dude,
drops.
that happens to me a lot too. But people were
It's
like,
like, bro, we just used to go to Supreme drops, and now like everyone's doing their own thing. I've got my YouTube, he's doing this. So like everyone has a young 25,000 followers or subscribers or whatever.
it's
Like
not
it's not that serious.
right. It's not as like as the same relationship as people would say for you, but like a lot of guys from across the pond follow me. A lot of those guys with like tons of subscribers, like I don't know, name someone. Like Callum Mullen, I think he was like over 100K. Like
Oh, I know Callum.
I'm
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I'm cool to a lot of those people over there, like from Europe and shit. And
Yeah,
people,
Callum is in our circles at like London.
I love him. He's a fun guy. But a lot of people will be like, "Oh, like this person follows you. Like that's crazy. How do you get them to follow you?" I'm just like, "We're cool. Like it's just not that deep. Like you know what I mean? People think it's OD deep for that. It's like it's not even that deep. Like I'm just cool with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's like I feel like so the way Jaffa behaves, he tries to like because they're like, yo, you know this person, you know that person. He like feeds into it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think that's the issue he has.
In reality, it doesn't take much for you to know people.
But one thing I can't fault Jaffa for is he's talented. Like
Yeah,
he is very,
I
very
will
talented.
admit that he's talented.
That's why I hope he goes far in the industry, and I feel like he will.
I mean, he's talented. It's just not a lot of stuff that I like, which is fair.
Yeah,
You're not
but
gonna like everything.
no, he's talented. He's talented.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
100%.
can't I can't take it away from him. It's just if I was to advise him, and this is not even like hate or anything. This is like literally me looking out for someone that's talented and wanting to see them go far. Just change the way you act because you're just
Right,
going to
right,
block opportunity like future opportunities you could have.
right.
Like forget about all this clout stuff. Like it's childish.
It only works to a certain extent. You only get so far until people are like, all right, nigga. Or like if you try to work with somebody like on a higher, plane as you. I don't know what the terminology really. So, you know what I mean? Like someone who's progressed more in the industry than you, and you can't really flex on them. They'd be like, all right, we don't give a fuck what you've done.
Yeah.
Look what we've done. You know what I mean? Look what I've done. Fuck what you've done, nigga. That's the only thing I have. That's the only problem I have with people who act like that. It's like you get to a certain point and they don't give up. Like people don't care anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, you can do that, but like, does it really matter to anyone who? It's like,
It's like just there's just principles. Like if I have an event and I know you, I'm going to let you go backstage. Like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
weird. Like don't ask me to come to an event and then I come and you're acting like you don't know me. Like what is that? Like I
Yeah.
just don't get it.
That's disrespectful. That's OD disrespectful. I'll
I
never do
just
that.
don't get it.
You ever try to like, hey, little nigga?
Nah.
Cause he's young. I think he's younger than me.
Yeah, he is. He is.
I think he's a year younger than
That's
me.
that's also the thing about like our whole circle thing. Like the age difference is mad. So there's like obviously you know who Micah is.
Yeah, yeah.
Like so his guys. So Sylvan, how I know
Mm-hmm.
Sylvan is through Micah because they went to the same school.
Oh, word.
Yeah. So
College or
then
high school?
high school.
Mm.
So then they have their guys like Noah. There's a model called Deba. She's quite popular on Instagram. If you
Oh,
check
I
her
know who you're
Insta,
talking
it's
about.
D3B4,
Yeah, yeah,
I think. Yeah. Deba,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Then her, there's a girl, another model called Jasmine Asia. Oh my God, I don't think that,
The
but
what? The
I think she's paying.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
You think she's done? No, I think
Nah,
she's
I
really,
don't know.
I think she's sexy,
She's
bro.
not my type. Not my type. Not my type.
Fairs. But wait, who are we talking about? We talking about Jasmine or Deba?
I don't know who Jasmine is. I'm talking about Deba. I say she's not my type.
Oh no, I think Deba's paying. Although she's a youngin. Like I just look at her as like
Oh,
a kid, but
how old is she? Oh no.
she's a bit of a young. I thought you were talking about Jasmine Asia.
Oh.
Bro. It's like, bro,
How
she is paying.
how old is he? Because it's probably not okay for me to rate like a kid.
Nah, they're like 19,
Uh,
18. They're quite young, bro.
yeah, okay.
Like so there's those guys around
I'm
that
only
age, and
20
there's
though.
guys like Jaffa. Jaffa's like 2021,
No,
and then
he's 19, I think. Cause I'm 20.
is he
And
19?
he's
Okay.
yeah.
So he's 19, and then there's like people that are more like my age, like me, Yaku, Lawrence. Like there's a guy, what happened to Lawrence on Instagram? He's a mod. Those are like more guys my age.
Right,
Actually, no,
right.
Lawrence is younger. Lawrence is like 20 or
There you
19.
have it.
So yeah, the age difference is like mad as well. So like sometimes I forget how young some of these guys are, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes I'll hang out with like some people from New York, and then they'll say something. I'll be like, "Nigga, how old are you?" You know what I mean? Like, wait, what? And that's a weird thing. That's the cool thing about being over there. It's like a lot of people are cool over there. Like they just know each other. Over here, people are not gonna fuck
Yeah,
with you. Like niggas don't give a fuck what you got going on over here.
seriously.
Like, they don't give a fuck unless you have a million. Unless you can give them some kind of clout or some kind of whatever. They don't give a fuck who you are. Dare try to promote something that you have going on in New York. Niggas don't give a shit.
That's crazy. No, London is more like communal. It's
Definitely.
just that some people in just they just make it jarring.
Yeah,
But
it's
for the
definitely like
most
communal
part,
living.
everyone knows everyone. Everyone's friends with everyone for the most part. Like everyone supports everyone. Like that's why like Jaffet, all of us, everyone in this scene went to his event because we're all support because we just see it as like a London guy. He has a collab with True Religion. Like let's like support him
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
like if the better a London creative does, the better it is for all of us. Like as an industry, that's just how we see things.
Sorry. Yeah, that's yeah. I wish I had like, the kind of community over here.
I feel that's crazy because I always thought like New York had like people moving cliques and stuff.
No, I mean there's cliques and stuff like
Damn.
that, but like for the most part, people like working with each other and acknowledging each other's work. I don't see it that often, and I fought a lot of guys out here, and I just don't see it that often. There's like a couple groups that are like like this one guy I know, Ben. He owns a store out here called MILF Dad, and it's not really in our realm of fashion, the kind of stuff that he
Yeah.
makes. But you know, a lot of people that I know are cool with him and like promote his store and stuff. But like that's one thing. And that's it, really.
Damn,
I
that's
ain't had
crazy.
like you guys probably reach out to each other about. Do you guys ever reach out to each other about working with each other or like previously have done that?
100%. Like
Yeah.
guys here, like I said, like okay, YouTube for example.
Mhm.
If I wanted to collab with like, let me give you a good example.
Mhm.
I reached out to Enzo
Okay.
to collab. He was like, "Yeah, sure."
Right.
The only reason why I was like, "Actually, no," like, and I did that with Sanjeev and Daniel Simmons was because I don't like have a professional setup,
Uh huh.
so I'm not trying to invite them to come to my house. It's just a
Yeah.
bit
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, actually, I'll chill till like maybe September when I have a proper setup, and then we
Right.
can like
Right.
start making stuff. But like Daniel Simmons has like 150K subs, bro. And
Right.
he was just like, yeah, like bro, I don't mind. Sanj has way more subs than me. He was like, yeah, I don't mind. We can do whatever. So it's like guys here are just more like, just everyone wants to help each other.
Yeah. My boy Ramzoid had joined me on my podcast, and he has like I don't know how he didn't even care. Like he was just like, yeah, let's just do it. Like I don't know how many. He has like maybe 300K now subscribers. Yeah, like 340K subscribers. He was just okay with it. He was like, yeah, let's do it. But like,
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like I don't know. I think people just get too lost in the sauce.
yeah, for sure.
It's just I don't get it. It's why I have like literally a series I do every single year where I just shout out smaller fashion YouTube
Yeah,
channels
which is dope. Help me out.
because it's like people don't do it, and I don't know why people don't do it.
What's it
Because it's
called?
like you see them, you know who they are, you just don't want to shed a light.
Yeah, and like I never have somebody hit me up to talk about anything at all. Nothing
Yeah,
about nothing about my magazine, nothing about the podcast, nothing about my YouTube channel, nothing about any of that shit.
but you reckon a lot of those guys like know what's going on? They're just because
I
they feel
mean,
like they can't get anything from you. Do you?
I see them on my page a lot. I see them on my stories and stuff. No one
Yeah,
ever like the majority of people who congratulated me on my Calvin Klein thing are people who I had already have like I don't know if you call it intimate, but like a relationship with
yeah,
that was beyond fashion.
yeah,
For anybody who congratulated me on the Calvin Klein thing was not like was pretty much. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are people in the fashion that congratulated me on that. That's 100% sure. But like for
yeah,
the most part, it was people who I either like who had just have like developed more of a relationship in that was outside of fashion.
yeah.
Like a lot of people over here that don't give a fuck. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
But I've come to realize that as well. It's just like I just over time, I don't know if it's maturity or whatever, but over time I just realized who is actually my guy, who isn't, like what this
Yeah, yeah,
person, what
yeah.
their gender is, what it isn't, and I just like play it as it goes.
Right, right, right. But you know, that's how it goes sometimes, I suppose.
But yeah, that's crazy. I genuinely thought like the New York scene was a bit more communal.
No, 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 no. I've never had somebody ask me to like if they wanted to work. Like I said, outside of my friends, never had asked somebody if they wanted to work or if they wanted to like shoot something or if they wanted to do a podcast or you know anything like that. Nothing at all.
Seriously?
Seriously, not a single person.
Damn.
I had
Like I can't imagine that, bro.
not a single person. It's you know what I mean. It's crazy.
Like,
That's the one
bro,
thing I regret
what?
about being in New York. Like how cool it is, all this other kind of stuff. I wish I could have been in a community where I could really I could really work with a bunch of people.
Yeah, bro. If you're in London, like your magazine, bro, you could get so many
That's
people
what I'm
into that.
saying. That's like or I could just have like a community of a bunch of people who I just work with. Like the people who I fucking work with now from like with On Road, which is a research agency, is from London too. They're from London. Like I work for a London company, a London-based. That's what I work for. I work for a London-based company. So,
Yeah, I'm not
you
surprised.
know
Based
what?
off of what you've said about New York.
Yeah.
But it's strange because a lot of people that make it big in London, a
Uh
lot of
huh.
them like move to New York and stuff.
Well, after you get big, then you can get some pull anywhere. You know.
Because people there have something to gain from
Yeah.
you. So
If you're big, you can get a pull anywhere. You know what I mean? But once
I see.
niggas better not see you struggling with shit. If you struggling, if you not making it, then hey, nigga, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like,
The thing is, in New York, I've got plugs though.
yeah,
There's guys I know. Like I know the stylist who does loads of work,
word.
and like I want to go to New York and like do some stuff with her. Yeah, she styles like celebrities.
Oh,
Like
really?
she styled Sean Paul's last music
That's
video. Like
crazy.
quite recently, she styled Thierry Henry, the football player.
Put
Like she styles a lot of celebs and stuff. And she was like, yeah. If you come to New York, like let me know. Like I'll introduce you to some guys.
put me on
So
with her.
in my head, I'm just like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Actually,
New York must be calm, but I don't know.
I will say shout out to my friend Olu because he always hooks me up with like some work or whatever. So like that's one person.
Yeah,
But he's an older dude. Like he's not really. I mean, not to say he's not an artist.
he's not on that like clout
Yeah,
crap.
yeah. No, he's an older guy. He married and all this other kind of stuff. But he always has work for
Yeah.
me. But for the most part, it's just like, nah. It's not gonna work.
Oh, I know a guy like that. There's a sick guy I know called Leslie who got married recently. He's like really successful guy.
Uh huh.
He's like an IT guy, like a programmer, but mad rich. But he just likes
Really?
fashion as well. And like he reached out to me. He's like, bro, if you need anything for your channel, because I like your content, just like hit me up. But I
That's
just can't
crazy.
do it. Even though like obviously he probably would. Like if I need like a studio setup or whatever, he'll
Yeah.
probably out. But nah, I'm not just like trying to take the piss just because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
said.
I don't know. It sucks, but that's how it goes sometimes. You gotta break through the boundaries, so to speak.
Big facts.
Make yourself solidified in the mold, or whatever the fuck, whatever the kind of terminology you can use for that.
For sure.
Thank you for joining me today, man. We had
No
a
problem.
frank discussion about a lot of stuff.
From basketball to Diet Prada to London and New York fashion scenes.
Dude, that's what I love about this show. It's just like fucking. I used to have notes, like on the slide podcast. I used to have notes, but then I ditched them in favor of this because it just feels more like you just talk and talk and talk. With the notes, after the notes are done, you're just like, oh, like what
Yeah.
else? Like you're just stuck. You just fucking like it better when you're just talking about whatever. But
Yeah.
do you have anything to plug? What's going on with you?
Um,
Anything
not really.
coming up?
I've got an interview for CSM next week, Wednesday.
Oh, word.
So yeah, wish me luck for that.
Yeah, for sure.
What else do I have going on? I don't really have anything. I've got just gonna continue posting YouTube
For
videos, of
sure.
course.
Killing it out here with the YouTube.
We might make a basketball podcast. We'll see about that.
We definitely have to talk about that. I added you to a group chat on Instagram that
What on Discord?
on Instagram.
Ah, okay, cool.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But thank you for listening, everyone. Thank you for watching. Make sure to check the links down in the description below. Go join our Discord where we chat about a bunch of shit, and go check out Ayo's channel. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.